This is why I don't do videos on Sundays. Shit locks up. Welcome to Sunday afternoon, folks. It's about 3:15 here on the East Coast. The Caps game ended about 20 or so minutes ago. Lost out to the Rangers 3-2. Was not a good game. And we want to look at it. It was not a good game. It just would depress anybody. Like I said, this is not the way you want to play. You want to play your way into the postseason. It's just complete stinking the joint up. This is what happens. So that's all the sports-oriented shit I'm going to do here today. I'm going to devote this video to something a little more pressing. Everybody knows the story by now. If you somehow picked up your Sunday paper and may have seen a big banner above the fold headline or whatever. Whitney Houston dead. Never got to see 49. The story now is they're going to do an autopsy, try to figure out the cause of death. It will not surprise me or anybody else if they find drugs are involved. Believe me. You want to think this isn't the case, but it won't surprise me and it won't surprise anybody else. So this is now another example and really I would say this is I guess I call it a linchpin moment for Generation Xers. This is like your version of Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix or Jim Morrison dying, which is how we baby boomers seem to remember drugs and rock and roll. This is your version. You got the same. You also got the same thing when Kurt Cobain blew his head off, and I could go on and on and on, chapter and verse, but I won't. What I want to address with this is, this is the tragedy, and I know everybody would agree with me on that. Could this have been avoided? 2020 hindsight. But it was interesting last night when I was fooling around with my new cell phone, which I've had now for about a month and a half, going on 6 weeks. And it's perusing Google Plus on my phone, because I can do that a lot better than anything. And, here were these posts, and they were, pointing all of this out, and I thought, okay, somebody's trying to pull my leg. So there I was. I flipped on CNN last night, and they're basically going with the story. Which again, it brings up the difference. You can call it a generational difference. You have to understand, I am of an age when we did not have social media. Or of course, in our case, social media meant, newspapers, radio and television. That's what we considered social media. Which is how we were informed of how Elvis died and John Lennon died, and I can really go on and tell you where I was in those two instances, but I'm not going to bore you all with it. And you have to understand, there was no entertainment television back then. The channel, if I remember, came into existence in 1980. It was called Movie Time. So, they didn't have this. The reason I'm bringing all of this up is, somebody got off a comment there while I was, doing the whole social media thing, hitting Google Plus, hit Twitter. And while they're on Twitter, like one of the people I follow got off a line about, well, this is like how how Bobby Brown introduced the drugs and stuff. And I thought, it's funny, but it was so fucking inappropriate right after, all this. You know, it's like you wait like 48 or 72 hours, you can stand here and start making the jokes. Believe me. You know, I'd almost jump in on this myself. But I was sitting this morning while I was just, flipping the dial, seeing how all the news, and it showed the difference. Again, in this world of social media, that here are people that just basically decided to cut MTV a new one because you would have thought something like this they would have broken in the regular coverage, and it would have been perfectly understandable. But oh no, they decided they wanted to show Teen Mom 2. You know, and it was like this. Like this morning, I'm flipping the dial, looking at E, and and I thought they would have just gone wall to wall on this. No. Now they want to show The Voice, because hey, E's owned by Comcast, which owns NBC and all that. You get into this whole corporate incest shit. And I was thinking, okay, this is interesting. E won't stand here and preempt, Christina Aguilera and all that. They won't preempt the Kardashians for this. I was like, man, what a fucked up world this is becoming. That's the thing when Kurt Cobain blew his head off. MTV just went wall to wall for like 3 days straight. Um, I, I don't know. I'm not saying this is some type of a generational difference, but there's something dreadfully wrong somewhere. And I was trying to think here. I kept trying to think. There was something. I know I did a video on it at the time, like a couple of months ago. There was some other death. I don't know if it's Bin Laden death or what it was. And it was like the CNN and Fox News went like wall to wall with it, and MSNBC decided, oh no, we're going to show Lock Up. And I thought to myself, I used to have respect for MSNBC as a news organization, but after that, nah. I couldn't remember, what it was that triggered it. I have to go look at my videos and see where it did it. But that's neither here nor there. I was talking about, yes, I was talking about Whitney Houston. Thank you. I have to remember myself. So here I was thinking, wouldn't it be a great time for Bravo to dust off being Bobby Brown? If you can remember that reality show from a number of years ago. So I remember seeing it once. It was when I first got my cable and I was able to see Bravo, and they decided to do a marathon of it. And I came away from that and I thought I almost had the greatest sense of pity. I don't even think it's sympathy. It was more like pity for Bobby Brown. Just realize that you look at this and you understand Bobby Brown did not have the penis in that marriage. I just never see a guy that eviscerated, by your old lady. This is like I almost triple fucking dog dare Bravo to dust this thing off, and they won't do it today. I don't even know if they'll do it at any point this week, but I fucking triple fucking dog dare Bravo to dust off being Bobby Brown this week at some point. Oh man. I mean, it's like I said. I mean, you have to watch it. It was a train wreck. It's just the thing. That show was a train wreck in more ways than one. It's the image of this is like their daughter, Bobby Christina. And they see the look on her face during that show. Like, she looks at this like, these are my parents. These are the people who brought me into this world. I think you would have forgiven her if you wanted to slit her throat. Anyway, I'm going off topic here. I didn't mean to. But I just figured I'd just go ahead and put my 2 or whatever cents worth on this. It just makes for a very interesting Grammy telecast tonight. It's it's gonna make it for whatever segment they do. They'll talk about all the music industry people who died in the previous 12 months. I said, you wonder what they're gonna do here. It's like, do you stand here and shave a few seconds off of Don Cornelius to do this? So, I mean, I'm not watching the Grammys, mind you, but it would just be interesting to see if anybody would tune into that and see how they handle all of this. I don't know. Well, anyway, I think I'm bored everybody here today. So that takes care of trying to, hopefully this video will take hold and I'll be able to process the damn thing. So anyway, this is the Sunday. And I get now to say adios, motherfuckers. I will join you when I do another video. I just never know when I'm going to do them. So anyway, here we go. And the goddamn picture decides it's gonna lock up. Come on. Oh, boy, I hate this. This is why I hate doing videos on Sundays. Anyway, we will see you when I get around to it. So, adios, motherfuckers. Enjoy what's left of your Sunday. And I think that's it. I think I've said all I need to say.